Alright, in this video I am going to be putting some tempera paint onto my mat board. So you can see where I have put the masking fluid, and it's still sticky, but it is dry. And then I have drawn in with pencil where my tulips are. So now I'm going to work on putting some tempera paint down. So some things you're going to need, you have some different size brushes, a cup of water, some paper towels, and your palette with some paint in it. Now, one thing that I really want to emphasize is avoiding using paint right out of the bottle. So these colors are pretty pure and they're pretty unrealistic. Like this green is pretty unrealistic as far as a green goes. So mixing that green with different colors was going to be very beneficial. So I could take in some black and kind of bring the color down a little bit. I can add a little bit of white as well. Another thing I can add is a little bit of red, and that'll add a little bit of kind of brown tones to it. So keep that in mind, that we really want to avoid doing anything that's going to be very unrealistic, like just too bright and everything else. Now this is going to be my base coat, and I'm going to come in, with my color pencil and stuff like that. Now, whenever I'm painting my base coat, though, I don't necessarily want it to be flat. I might want to bring in some different shades. So mixing in some different shades while I'm doing this might be beneficial as well. All right, so I'm going to start with my greens. So my greens are going to be primarily in my background. Now, whenever this goes on, it looks pretty dark, and then but I've noticed that it will lighten up as it dries. Whenever I paint the background, I know that there's going to be a lot of leaves and stuff, and so I'm very textured whenever I paint the background. I'm not very perfect with the paint. So I'm going to layer in, now tempera paint doesn't layer very well, but I am going to layer in some like darker tones, some lighter tones, just to have a little bit of variety in my greens. I don't want all my greens to be the same tone. Alright, so I'm going to leave that and I'm going to let it dry, and then I can come back and start adding some of my reds, but I want to do my greens in my other sections as well. Okay, so I have painted on my base coat of my tempera. And so my next step is to let this dry, and then after it has dried, I can come back with my Prismacolor color pencil and start adding my details to my flowers and some shading.